The Spirit of the Laws by Montesquieu is a foundational text in the history of political science and sociology. Here's a brief review followed by 10 important ideas. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started. Montesquieu's The Spirit of the Laws is a groundbreaking work in the annals of political thought. Written in the 18th century, it offers an in-depth exploration of the relationship between different forms of government and the social and geographic factors that influence them. Montesquieu's analysis transcends his time, offering timeless insights into the nature of governance, liberty, and the conditions necessary for the maintenance of a free society. The text is erudite, nuanced, and at times dense, but it remains an essential read for anyone interested in understanding the dynamics of political power and the preservation of liberty. Most important ideas. 1. Theory of separation of powers. Montesquieu's revolutionary notion of the separation of powers posits that for a government to function optimally and ensure the preservation of liberty, it's essential that its primary powers are divided among distinct branches. By ensuring that legislative, executive, and judicial powers are separated, Montesquieu believed it would create a system of checks and balances, effectively preventing any one branch from gaining unchecked authority. This foundational principle stands as a bulwark against tyranny and is pivotal in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of citizens. Its profound significance can be observed in its influence on the framers of the U.S. Constitution. Recognizing the wisdom in Montesquieu's proposition, they adopted this theory as a cornerstone, embedding the separation of powers into the very fabric of American governance to ensure democratic ideals are upheld. 2. Types of governments. Montesquieu's profound exploration into political systems led him to categorize governments into 3 primary types, each distinctly characterized by its operating principle. Firstly, he recognized republics, which can further be bifurcated into democratic and aristocratic. In democratic republics, power emanates from the populace, ensuring direct or indirect participation in governance. Aristocratic republics, on the other hand, vest authority in a select group or class. Secondly, monarchies operate with a single ruler at the helm but are tempered by established laws and institutions, often underlined by the principle of honor. Lastly, despotisms stand as a stark contrast, marked by unchecked power vested in a single individual or group, with decisions often driven by fear and coercion. Montesquieu's nuanced understanding of these governance models provided invaluable insights into their strengths, vulnerabilities, and the societal conditions they best thrive under. 3. Principle of each government. Delving deeper into the heart of political systems, Montesquieu illuminated the core principles that drive each form of governance. Democracies, in his view, thrive on virtue. This virtue refers to the active participation of citizens in civic affairs, marked by a collective desire to prioritize the common good over individual interests. It's this shared commitment to the welfare of all that sustains democracies. In monarchies, honor reigns supreme. This principle implies a system of distinctions, ranks, and privileges where subjects are driven by a desire for recognition and status, ensuring the smooth operation of the monarchy. Conversely, despotisms are governed by the pervasive principle of fear. In such systems, rulers maintain control through intimidation, threats, and suppression, ensuring obedience from the populace. Through these defining principles, Montesquieu offers a lens to understand the motivations and mechanisms behind different governmental structures. 4. Climate and government. Montesquieu ventured into the realm of environmental determinism with his intriguing proposition that the climate of a region plays a significant role in shaping the temperament and behavior of its inhabitants. He believed that the physical environment, particularly the climate, has a direct impact on human physiology and disposition. For instance, people from colder regions, according to Montesquieu, might develop certain resiliences, habits, or lifestyles that distinguish them from those in warmer climates. These collective characteristics, molded over time, could then influence the kind of governance structures that take root in a particular area. For Montesquieu, the suitability of a government form wasn't just a matter of ideology or historical progression, but also a product of the region's environmental influences. This perspective added a novel dimension to political theory, emphasizing the interconnectedness of the natural world and socio-political constructs. 5. Laws and morals. Montesquieu profoundly explored the symbiotic relationship between a society's legal framework and its moral compass. He posited that laws aren't merely regulatory instruments, they are deeply intertwined with the ethos and values of the people they oversee. Laws, in his perspective, shouldn't be arbitrary mandates. Instead, they should resonate with the inherent moral temperament of the community, serving as a reflection of their collective conscience. By aligning laws with the prevailing moral standards, Montesquieu believed that governance would not only be more effective but also more just. This would foster greater societal cohesion and adherence to laws, as citizens would see them not as external impositions but as codifications of their shared values. This perspective underscores the importance of a participatory approach in legislation, ensuring that laws resonate with the cultural and moral fabric of the society they intend to guide. 6. Importance of moderate government. In a world often marked by extremes, Montesquieu championed the virtues of balance and restraint in governance. For him, moderation was not just a virtue but a pivotal principle for stable and prosperous governance. He posited that a government which veers too strongly in any direction risks destabilizing the social order and infringing upon the liberties of its citizens. Extreme measures, whether in laws, policies, or enforcement, can alienate the populace and breed discontent. Montesquieu's advocacy for moderation was rooted in his understanding that the essence of good governance lies in balancing the interests of all stakeholders. By tempering power, ensuring checks and balances, and avoiding radical shifts, governments can achieve a harmonious social order, respect individual freedoms, and maintain public trust. His insights serve as a timeless reminder of the dangers of unchecked authority and the value of measured, thoughtful governance. 7. Constitutionalism. Montesquieu was a strong proponent of the concept of constitutionalism, emphasizing the necessity of a robust legal framework to govern nations. For him, a constitution wasn't merely a set of rules, it was a sacrosanct document that delineated the boundaries of governmental power, ensuring that it couldn't overreach or infringe upon the rights of its citizens. He understood that unchecked authority could easily lead to tyranny. Hence, a constitution acts as both a guiding beacon and a restraining force, ensuring that the government operates within prescribed limits. Additionally, it enshrines the fundamental rights of citizens, safeguarding their freedoms and privileges from arbitrary encroachments. In Montesquieu's vision, constitutionalism not only structured and limited power but also enshrined values, creating a societal contract that both rulers and the ruled are bound to respect. His views laid the groundwork for the development and adoption of constitutions in many modern democracies. 8. Slavery critique. Montesquieu's approach to slavery was both nuanced and critical. He viewed the institution as inherently unjust, questioning the moral foundations upon which societies had built and justified the subjugation of one human being by another. Through his writings, he dissected the incongruities of endorsing liberty and equality while simultaneously permitting the bondage and degradation of fellow humans. On a practical level, Montesquieu argued that slavery was not only morally reprehensible but also economically and socially inefficient. Slaves, living under constant oppression and devoid of motivation, could never be as productive or innovative as free individuals. While he stopped short of calling for an immediate end to the institution, likely due to the prevailing sentiments of his time, his critiques laid the intellectual groundwork for future anti-slavery movements and debates. Montesquieu's perspectives were instrumental in pushing society to reevaluate and ultimately reconsider the morality and utility of slavery. 9. Federalism. Montesquieu's insights into governance extended to the structure of political entities, leading him to recognize the merits of federalism. In such a system, he identified the balance between centralized authority and the autonomy of smaller political units. He envisioned a structure where these units, be they states or provinces, could retain and exercise specific powers, allowing for localized governance attuned to the unique needs and character of their populations. Meanwhile, a central authority would manage broader concerns, ensuring unity, coordination, and shared goals. This dual system promotes both unity and diversity, offering a framework where regional identities and concerns coexist harmoniously with national interests. Montesquieu's endorsement of federalism recognized the need for adaptability and flexibility in governance structures, advocating for systems that can cater to both local nuances and overarching national imperatives. His ideas have influenced the formation and functioning of several federal systems around the world. 10. Importance of civic education. For Montesquieu, the bedrock of a thriving democracy was an informed and engaged citizenry. He posited that the health of a republic was intrinsically linked to the level of civic education imparted to its people. Understanding rights and responsibilities wasn't just about individual empowerment, it was central to cultivating a sense of collective virtue. Montesquieu believed that when citizens are knowledgeable about the tenets of their governance, they become active stakeholders, guarding against potential overreach and participating constructively in the democratic process. Such education fosters critical thinking, enabling individuals to question, debate, and contribute meaningfully to societal progress. Furthermore, a well-educated populace acts as a bulwark against demagoguery and misinformation. In Montesquieu's vision, civic education was not merely an academic endeavor but a foundational pillar ensuring the stability, vibrancy, and longevity of democratic societies. Montesquieu's work laid the groundwork for many political theories and ideas that followed. His observations and analyses continue to offer valuable insights into the nature and functioning of political systems.